Palaces of Dreams. This is the story of the American elite, whose lives are defined by dazzling light and immense success. In their world, everything has a price, and every step is part of a calculated strategy. Peace, in such a life, is a rare treasure, and sometimes they find that peace only in their dreams. This is the story of one such man, whose seemingly peaceful sleep gives birth to an unseen reality that begins to feel more compelling than the world he lives in. In Manhattan's Upper East Side, amidst the grand penthouse apartments, Alex Winston's luxurious triplex stood out for its unique beauty and ultra-modern design. Alex, the founder and CEO of Winston Capital, owned a global financial empire. His wealth knew no bounds, and his name regularly appeared in Forbes' most influential lists. His life seemed picture perfect: a stellar career, a beautiful and fashionable wife Sophia, who herself owned a successful art gallery, and two children studying at Ivy League universities. Alex's day began at 4 a.m. when New York was still asleep. He worked out intensely in his private sky gym, followed by a carefully curated organic breakfast prepared by his personal chef. Every minute of his day was planned analyzing financial markets, attending board meetings, meeting global leaders. Everything followed a set pattern. Alex was never emotional in his decisions. He always chose logic and data, and this made him stand out from his competitors. But behind this perfect world was a deep void that haunted him in the dark of night. Alex had been struggling with chronic insomnia for years, worsened by his jet-setting lifestyle. Even the most expensive sleep medications proved ineffective. His doctor had advised him to engage in relaxing activities before bed, and Sophia had suggested he try listening to sleep stories. At first, the idea seemed absurd to Alex, but the constant noise of thoughts in his mind eventually compelled him to try. One night, when thoughts of upcoming transactions and global market fluctuations were causing chaos in his mind, Alex opened a sleep app on his smartphone. He found a story titled The Crystal Mansion. The narrator's voice was deep, soothing, and felt like it was pulling him straight into a dream world. The story was about a mysterious palace located on a hidden island off the Pacific coast. The palace was made entirely of crystal and diamonds, glowing under the moonlight. Its owner was a fabulously wealthy, enigmatic, and lonely man, searching for peace in the final days of his life. The story described how he collected rare diamonds, precious gems, and ancient art pieces in the secret chambers of his palace. His only purpose in life was to acquire and protect rare treasures. Alex listened to just a few minutes of the story on the first night and fell into the deepest sleep he had experienced in years. It was astonishing. The next night, he returned to the story. With each passing night, the tale grew deeper and more mysterious. The palace's ambience, the treasures within, and the enigmatic owner's personality were described so vividly that Alex began to feel as if he were inside the Crystal Mansion himself. One night, the story took a turn. The mansion's owner, always depicted as a loner, suddenly encountered a beautiful woman. She had entered the palace in search of a rare diamond, and her intelligence and beauty captivated him. Alex felt as if this woman resembled Sophia, but in the story, her name was Selena. Selena's character was so alive that Alex could feel her every expression. He walked through the secret corridors of the palace with her, showed her the rare jewels, and discussed ancient art pieces. This continued for several weeks. Alex's sleep improved, but he began to worrying about what would happen when the story ended. He realized he was living more in the story than in reality. Even during important business meetings, his mind drifted to the Crystal Mansion and Selena. His key decisions began to reflect a vague detachment, as if he was living in another world. One day, Alex noticed he was making errors in his business. He couldn't focus on vital deals, and some of his major decisions seemed unclear. A massive international merger, where he had invested billions, stalled due to a minor oversight, something unimaginable from a person like Alex. His partners and board members began questioning his unusual performance. Sophia noticed the change too. She often found him lost in thought. One day, she asked gently, "Is everything all right, darling? You seem different lately." Hesitantly, Alex told her he'd been listening to a sleep story, and it was affecting him deeply. Sophia smiled and replied, "That's good if it's helping you sleep." But she didn't know the story wasn't just helping him sleep, it was creating a new reality for him. The story neared its end. The mansion's owner and Selena had grown close, their souls deeply intertwined. In one emotional scene, they confessed their love in the tallest tower of the palace. The moment was so moving that Alex had tears in his eyes. Then came the final part of the story. Alex was unusually excited that night. As the story reached its climax, it revealed something that shook him to the core. The mansion's owner and Selena, now married, stood in front of an ancient crystal ball in the palace's most hidden room. The narrator, in a mysterious tone, said, "This crystal ball is a bridge between the past and present. Whoever looks into it sees their true self." When the owner and Selena looked into the ball, the narrator revealed that the mansion's owner was, in fact, Alex, and Selena was none other than Sophia. The story explained in detail how their souls had been searching for each other for centuries. The palace, the jewels, the art, it was all symbolic of their shared dreams. Alex suddenly woke up. The room was dark, and the soft glow of Manhattan's city lights seeped in through the curtains. For a moment, he couldn't believe where he was. His seemingly perfect and successful life faded in comparison to what the story had just revealed. He looked beside him to see Sophia sleeping peacefully, a soft smile on her face. Alex realized that somewhere along the way, he had stopped valuing her. He had chased business and wealth, forgetting that real beauty and peace lie in relationships. The story had reminded him of this simple truth. The next morning, Alex started his day differently. He made coffee for Sophia and served it to her with his own hands. He decided to spend less time in meetings and more time with his family. He realized that true wealth lies in the strength of relationships, not just in financial success. From that day onward, Alex stopped listening to the sleep story. He no longer needed it. The story had introduced him to a truth that was missing from his otherwise complete life. He understood now that sometimes the stories we hear in our sleep can teach us lessons far more valuable than reality itself. That story became a crystal connecting him to his dreams and reintroducing him to his true self.